In this video, I'm going to do some problems involving the simple interest formula. So the simple interest formula looks like this. I equals P times R times T, like this. PRT really means implied multiplication. We're just multiplying those three things together. Now, I stands for interest. This is the simple interest formula. P stands for principal. That's the amount that's either borrowed or put into the bank as a deposit to earn interest on. So it's going to be the large number in the problem. R is going to be the rate that's either being earned or paid, but we want to convert that to a decimal. So for instance, if the rate was 10%, we want to divide 10 by 100, and we get 0.10 as our decimal that we would use. And the time is in years. So if you're given a time in months, you will want to divide that by 12. If you were given a time in days, you would want to divide that by 365. A little bit more about interest and account balance. So what this picture is showing us is an example where we deposit $1,000 in the bank and we earn 10% simple interest. So after year one, they add 10%, which is $100. After year two, another $100. So we have a total of $200. 3 years, another 100, 300. And after 4 years, they have added $400 of interest. Well, the reason I'm talking about this is that some questions might ask you not about the interest amount, but the total amount that's in the account. So when that's the case, we have to add the interest and the principal together. 1,000 plus our additional $400 leaves us with $1,400 after 4 years. So hopefully that explains that relationship between interest and account balance. First practice question, what is the simple interest on a $2,000 loan at 5% interest for 3 years? Let's first write our formula. I equals P R T. In order to find the interest, we need to know the principal, the rate, and the time. Well, the principal is going to be this big number, 2,000. The rate is going to be 5% expressed as a decimal. 5 divided by 100 is 0.05. And our time is 3 years. T equals 3. Now we just have to multiply those three things together. 2,000, 0.05, and 3 years. And that gives us an answer of $300 of interest is earned over the 3 years. Now, the question asked us for the interest, so we are done. We don't have to find the balance. Let's move on to the next question. Joe deposited $5,000 in an account, earning 4% simple interest. How much would be in the account after 10 years? How much would be in the account means we need to find the balance. So let's remember to add the principal at the end. But first, we do need to calculate the interest. I equals P times R times T. Here's our P, the big amount. R, we convert to a decimal. 4 divided by 100 is 0.04. And we are doing this over 10 years. So T equals 10. So 5,000 times 0.04 times 10. And that equals $2,000 of interest. But we need the account balance. So that's going to be P, the principal, plus the interest. Our original $5,000 plus $2,000. Our balance is $7,000 after 10 years. Okay, next problem. What is the simple interest on a $10,000 loan at 8% interest for 6 months? Interest equals P times R times T. We're being asked for the interest, so we don't have to add it when we're done. Here is our principal. Our rate is 8 divided by 100.08. Our time is in terms of months. So we want to divide 6 months by 12, and that will give us our time of 0.5 years. So that's what we're going to use for the time. That's the only difference in this problem. Principal is 10,000. Our rate is 0.08. And our time is 0.5. We multiply that all out, and we get $400 of interest. Next problem. What rate would be needed to earn $240 of simple interest on a $1,000 investment for 8 years? This problem is a little bit different. This is the most complicated kind of problem that you might run into. But let's write our formula and see what happens when we identify the pieces. We are making a $1,000 investment. That should be our principal. We can see that our time is 8 years. And the other piece of information we're given is the amount of interest. So I is equal to 240 in this case, and we're being asked for the rate. So let's put together what we have here. Our interest is 240. Our investment is 1,000. The rate we don't know, and the time is 8 years. So this is a case where we have to use algebra in order to answer this question. So I'm going to do this by hand in 2 steps. I'm going to start out by dividing both sides by 8. That's going to cancel this out. And 240 divided by 8 with the calculator would be 30 is equal to 1,000 times R. I can just write that as 1,000 R. Second step, we're going to divide both sides by that 1,000, by what R is being multiplied by. Once again, you would want to rely on your calculator for this. On the right-hand side, we were left with R, and on the left-hand side, 30 divided by 1,000, which is 0.03. The last step in a problem like this is that we probably want to convert this decimal rate to a percent. So we would multiply that by 100. 0.03 is 3%. Our rate is 3%. So that would be the answer to that question. As I said, that's the most difficult kind when you need to use some algebra, when they actually give you the interest and ask you to solve one of those things on the right-hand side of the formula. But in every case, that's going to involve steps like this, where we divide both sides by the 2 things that we know on the right-hand side of the equation. All right, that's it for this video. Hopefully that helps you remember simple interest a little bit. And it's time for some practice. Good luck.